Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area, ordered by the 4th Interceptor Command at 2:25 a.m. The unidentified object moved slowly down the Pacific coast from Santa Monica and disappeared south of Long Beach. Searchlights closely followed the object down the coast and kept it centered in their glare. Shells frequently could be seen bursting near the object, but none appeared to hit it. The shooting stopped about 3:30 a.m. Approximately 20 minutes after the firing died down, the ship returned and headed westward from Long Beach toward Santa Monica. The guns went into action again, hurling round after round of shells at the object. The second barrage appeared to be closer to downtown Los Angeles, since watchers could hear the concussion of the guns more clearly, and the flash of bursting shells was brighter. Then the ship disappeared for the second time over the ocean. We return you now to PBS in New York. That was Byron Palmer on the West Coast.
The Battle of LA was the first time that our military actually fired upon a UFO. The next day, the military told the press it was nothing but a weather balloon. Another report was that they fired at nothing due to war nerves. The Army was not too pleased with these reports. If they could not bring down a weather balloon with almost 1,500 rounds fired and direct hits, then what would they be able to do firing at real enemy targets? This was the first time official denial was put into motion regarding UFOs. This was 1942, only a few months after Pearl Harbor.
Our distinguished guest for this evening is Dr. Willie Ladd.
Well, now, is our own government, our own Defense Department, taking the flying saucer report seriously?
They have to. After all, the Air Force, which is the one which is investigating, is charged with the defense of our skies. So if there is anything in the skies which they don't know and cannot account for, it makes them understandably uneasy.
Major Donald E. Kehoe, a retired Marine Corps officer, insisted that the Air Force knew more than it was telling.
We are being observed by some type of device which is ahead of us, far ahead of us, and is probably controlled by a highly advanced superior civilization. It has reached the point where many people in the Air Force have the same conclusion. In fact, the Air Force at one time had a top-secret estimate that these things were interplanetary spaceships.
Right now, if you report having seen a flying saucer, you open yourself up to ridicule too, which is something which is deplored by the Air Force.
In other words, members of our audience who might, for one reason or another, see a flying saucer can make the reports to the Air Force and be rendering a service now, yes, and not invite ridicule.
Yes.
Instead of being a subject for ridicule and a big joke, actually is a serious matter which could affect the lives of all of us.
Actually, most people who report a UFO sighting are patriotic citizens who have been mystified by something that they've seen, and through a patriotic sense, report it to the local law enforcement officials or to the United States Air Force Base near them.
The first reports were brought in by quiet and sober citizens, like Frank Manor.
I looked north of me, and there looked like a fallen star. It was red and kind of coming down, and on about a 45, and so then I watched it, and I was going to see if it landed, and then maybe go down and see what it was. And when it got to the top of the trees, it stopped, and a blue and a white light come on. And I looked at it, and I thought I was seeing things.
Frank Manor's UFO remained over his swamp for more than 4 hours. His children saw it, his in-laws saw it, residents of the area saw it.
I saw it looked shaped like a pie. I could see the front of it. I just saw the round front, and I could see the lights on either side. I just wanted to stay there and keep my eyes glued to it. I couldn't leave. But I can't fathom it because it seems so unreal.
William Van Horn, Hillsdale's undertaker and civil defense director, also spotted the UFO and was with his Geiger counter the next day, checking a mysterious perfect circle where the UFO had been seen. No one photographed it, but Sergeant Newell Schneider of the Sheriff's Office remembered it well enough to draw it.
No, it moved very rapidly at any speed or rather any direction it wanted to go. Why it could change and go to the right or the left or go crossways without hesitating a bit.
What do you think it was?
Well, if they call it a flying saucer, that's what it is.